It's Cougar Sports Saturday.
That's caught! Touchdown! Stayed inside the boundary and gets in for 6.
Cougar Sports Saturday, a presentation of KSL Sports.
Richie right to the rim, driving score! He would not be denied!
BYU Sports Talk by Cougar fans for Cougar fans. Sponsored by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air. Your hosts are Mitch Harper and Kyle Ireland. On Utah's legacy home of the Cougars, KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Coach, how would you summarize the busy weeks that this has been since the Pop-Tarts Bowl to now?
Good to see you, Mitch. Honestly, I feel like the last year, after not having any issues with staff or having to replace anybody, I thought that was maybe I took it for granted, but getting guys hired and making sure they're the right fit. I think there's a lot of people that can definitely do it with football, but like seeing the perfect fit is going to be the key, and that's I think we were able to do that. I first started with K-Pop being the defensive coordinator. I knew that that's who I wanted to do it from the beginning. And I had a feeling like I had to do my due diligence, which is talk to other people. And the more I did, the more I kept coming right back to him. So it was pretty easy transition for me to get that going. And just really thankful that he's able to do such a great job. And then we worked on putting together staff and, in the right positions and all that. And I feel like at some points it seemed like it was a long process, but I think we had to do everything we could to make sure that we're in the right spot. While that's all going on, we're trying to retain our players and trying to bring in the new freshmen that are starting mid-year and even the return missionaries that are coming back from mission. So nothing was easy, but I'm thankful that I have a great staff to help me do all of this. And it was good. I mean, I thought it was a really good experience for everybody. I think we're in a really good spot right now as a program, feeling really good about where we're headed and the direction everything's going.
What gave you so much confidence in Coach Papinga that he would be the right man to lead the defense and call it? And I asked that because he just hasn't been a defensive coordinator yet. What did you see in him that made you say that's the right guy?
Well, I've stayed in touch with him throughout his whole coaching career, and then when I had the opportunity to hire him, I've watched him closely, and I've spent a lot of time with him, not just on special teams, but overall defensive scheme, philosophy, and he and I share a lot of the same things. And when you're talking about calling a game, it's all collaborative anyways. When Jay had his heart attack a couple of years ago, we had to kind of shift to doing it as a group and even trying to get Jay back to full health, where we had to kind of rely on that. And then we've kind of kept the same system in place. And so the collaboration has been the key with all the guys that are involved. So keeping that in mind, I think that was a really good system that we had in place. And then knowing that K-Pop would want to keep doing it that way, and then trying to find out, with his instincts and what he knows as a player, how he can get this team set up right. And that's, with all the different positions and all the different things that we're going to do with the front seven. Jay, even though he was a coordinator, doesn't have a lot of experience with the front. And so having K-Pop has experience with the front end, with the back end, I think it's going to go really well. And that's why the guys that he hired, bringing in DeMario Warren to do the passing game coordinator and to work with the safeties, and then bring in Lewis Walker in as a cornerback coach who played for me when I was coordinating. So I've known Lewis and I've known Demo for a long time, and those guys are very capable. Demo was a coordinator at Southern Utah when Gennaro was working for him as a corners coach, so he was able to help mentor Gennaro along the way. And so now we basically get him here, who has coordinating experience and has a head coaching experience. So that is great to have that in the room. And then to have that with Lewis, who also has been a coordinator at a high level, and the FCS level, and then seeing that he's coached at powerhouse like North Dakota State, that North Dakota State wanted to bring him back again. I mean, he was recently at North Dakota State. And so he would have two. If we didn't hire him, he'd be his second stint at North Dakota State right now. So having those guys connecting with the players and connecting with the front that we see from Sione Boha and K-pop and Chad Kaha'a, I think puts us in a really good spot. And with the players that are returning and the incoming freshmen and the incoming portal players, I think we're in a really good situation right now.
And while you were, pursuing Coach Papinga and bringing together this defensive staff, in early January, there was a 2-week transfer portal rush. And I bring that up because just different in the terms of the offseason calendar. What were your thoughts on that 2-week compressed new transfer portal window? Do you like that spot? Do you want to see it maybe move in the future? Just your early returns on that compressed transfer portal window and only having one this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's a lot of opinions around it. I just go with whatever they give us. And so if it's one transfer portal time slot and then another one later, or if there's only one the entire time, we just try to find a way to make it work. So the difficulty in that is when you're dealing with trying to get guys in school, trying to work the transfer portal. I think the more difficult position is for the guys that are still playing, those in the playoffs and those that are playing later bowl games. But if you're really working your team and you're really communicating with your players, there's going to be some attrition already. So it's getting ahead of that, regardless of when the transfer portal happens, and then trying to take advantage of the guys that are in the portal that can help your team. So I think when you're dealing with teams that are bought into revamping their whole entire roster and bringing in over 30 guys, I don't know if it will ever be that, but I can see the intrigue and the interest in doing that. But I think we've got to develop guys, and some teams don't have a choice. If their team all leaves and they have to go to the portal and figure out a way to get them in. Fortunately for us, we were able to retain a lot of our players and a lot of players that played and have a lot of experience, and then we will combine that and complement that with a bunch of guys that I think can really help us and compete for playing time.
And on the offensive side, in terms of retention, you bring back L.J. Martin and Bear Bachmeyer. Those guys, you don't need to say any more. I mean, they're excellent football players, going to be leaders. I'm curious though, Kalani, at this time of the calendar signing day, depth's always a conversation. How do you feel about the depth behind LJ at running back and the depth behind Bear at quarterback heading into spring?
Yeah, I feel good about the depth behind LJ. The difficult part is that LJ got hurt, and so does Sione Moa. So now that taps into your depth, and then you got to look at other guys that are playing. I mean, Enoch Nawahine played for us there, but we were able to see the emergence of Jovesa Damuni, Preston Rex. We have some other guys that can play in that position. So there's a lot of quality there. The key is to get LJ back healthy and ready to roll, and he'll be there, and then Sione will be there too. So we've done that, and we've also added some guys from high school. I mean, Devon's going to be really good there too. So and then Jovesa had a really good bowl game. So I think they're capable. They have a great coach in Harvey Unga, and they have a great coordinator in A-Rod. So I feel like the depth will be good. It's always hard when you lose your top two guys, and then the other side of that is that how fast do we bring Sione back, because we have an opportunity to redshirt him. So that's what we did with him, redshirt him. So he'll go back to being a sophomore for us. So that's good, and we just got to get him healthy, and he'll get there by the time we get to August. The key is that he's got experience already, and now that Jovesa has some valuable experience, and we mix that with the incoming guys, I think it will be really good.
I wanted to ask you
that
too.
Quarterback position. Trace Bourget has always been solid for us there. Obviously, we wanted a lot of the reps for Bear so we can get him to develop and come along. But Enoch Watson is going to be really good for us there too. So maybe room for one more to bring on the roster at quarterback. But we really feel good about those three. And what their capabilities are. So with Bear being now a returning starter, we can have more time to develop all the other guys and have them find their niche, specifically Enoch Watson And being having Trace and Bourget, feel like we know if something did happen, we need to rely on those guys that can help us go in there and help win a championship.
I think back, Kalani, to a conversation we had. It was at Big 12 Media Days in Vegas in 2024. And I remember you pointed out that you wanted to build that quarterback factory and get this thing going to where, yes, in your reference, I remember it was, sometimes there were guys that would wait some time, but it was a factory that BYU had at the quarterback position. And looking at what you built, Zach Wilson, Jaron Hall, Keaton Slovis in the NFL, Retzloff had success. Now Bear Bachmeier, and now the future too with Enoch Watson and Ryder Lyons, who signed. I'm curious your thoughts on Ryder, because we didn't get a chance to talk about him in December. Your thoughts on him and just the overall health of this position and what's been built up with Coach Roderick and this offensive staff.
Well, and I think when you mention Ryder and what he can bring to the table, everybody knows what he can do. So I think the key will be when he gets home from his mission, how he's quickly able to adapt. I think he'll be fine. He's got the ability to throw the ball. I mean, Enoch served his mission. I want to say he was in Chile, but he it's like when he got home, he's able to throw the ball, and so I mean, you don't lose it. And I think these guys find ways to find a football, some places, and everybody knows how to catch a ball. So they're going to have people that can throw to on P-Day and stuff like that. But he'll be ready to go. I think we're also forgetting Emerson Gauman and his abilities too. So he's on his mission in Brazil. Those guys, when they come back, they'll be ready to roll. Maybe not physically, but mentally, and being able to connect with the brotherhood and the team dynamic of our team, of our program. I think they're going to be just fine. So it's a healthy room. This room, maybe we can use one more. We'll see.
Looking at the roster and how the roster construction comes to be, like how many guys are you going to have on the team? I know that the cap is 105, but with the DSAs being grandfathered with, designated student athletes and walk-ons, like how many players do you envision having next fall?
The roster will be 105. The DSAs will be not counted, but I don't see us being too many. I mean, I think in a normal year before all the roster cuts happened that it was 123. I don't think we'll be that high. I think we'll be if I'm guessing, probably be around 112 to 115 maybe, and then eventually the DSAs will be kind of graduating, moving on, and then the roster will fit and be settled on 105. So that's what everybody has to do right now, and that's the rules. But there's going to be more seats in the locker room, and but that's fine. That's kind of how the rules are now. So we only are available to handle 105 and maybe 8 to 10 DSAs.
Last thing for you, Kalani, with this transfer portal class, seems like impactful guys that have connections to this program. I'm curious in particular about Kedu Luave and Walker Lyons and even Paki Finau. Finau's been a name we've heard for many years. Just maybe the impact that those three in particular could have right away.
Yeah, all these guys have started before, and in the recruiting process, they want to be here at BYU, and not just because of football, but they want to be here for a bunch of reasons. And one is the university, the community of players that want to be connected to the team, even the fans. That's been a really big part of the experience here. So. That's been the key. But those guys can all play ball, man, and it's not just depth. We're looking for guys that can come in and play for us right away. We feel like, in a lot of ways, we lost a lot of seniors. That it's hard to say goodbye to those guys, but we find some really good people that can compete for the starting spots and compete for the playing time and the production that those guys have given us. I mean, you look at Carson Ryan, for example. We love that what he was able to do for us in the tight end position. And that's with a quarterback that's still trying to feel his way through as a true freshman here with Bear. But Carson gave us a lot of production. I feel like we can go to that position now with everything that we have there, not just with Kian and with Noah and others that are in that position, but now we have we have the arrival of Walker Lyons and now Roger Saleapanga. Those guys that have played and started and played a lot of reps at their respective schools with USC and Oregon. I think there's enough now for us to do some really good things, some cool things with the playbook. We can do a lot of whatever. It's pretty much open. We're not tied to just trying to run the ball and try to bring a freshman along. He's a veteran now. Now we can really open it up and find ways to get points on the board, and that's with all the different talent that we have. And then defensively, we got a lot of talent too that we can do defensively with our scheme. But yeah, special teams, all three phases, I feel like can be in a really good spot by the time we get to the fall.
Cannot wait. Spring football around the corner and then fall camp. And before we know it's another season of BYU football. Kalani, appreciate the time and congrats on the 2026 class and looking forward to spring ball here coming up soon.
Love you, Mitch. Appreciate it. Go Cougs.